Hey guys, what is up? First off, sorry there was no review last week. I wanted to do these together, episodes 4 and 5 review, since they are a two-parter. And after watching episode 4, I thought there wasn't a ton to talk about that wouldn't have been in spoiler territory, to be honest. So I wanted to do these two episodes together so we can do a little bit of spoilers and talk about the newest episode. So, basic plot of these episodes are, they are trying to prevent the apocalypse due to the unwritten book being read, and then after said unwritten book is read, they are trying to revert the apocalypse. Yeah, it's these two episodes, again, Doom Patrol, every episode so far just keeps getting better and better and better. I said at the beginning of the show, episode 1, that I thought it had a ton of potential, but it wasn't quite there yet. I think it's kind of gotten there now. It's meshing up with my idea of the characters perfectly. These episodes, especially, you have kind of the team, them split up into different smaller teams. You have the team of Crazy Jane and Cliff, who are sent to Nerdheim to fix things that they kind of flop, but there's some great personal stuff going on there due to Cliff's violent episode in the last episode, where he was just destroying the Nazi wannabes. Jane, seeing that, left her with this just visceral, vicious image of Cliff in her head that she can't shake, and he's having to deal with the ramifications of what that means of him being so violent, not just to her, but to himself. What does that mean to him? It scares him. It scared her. He's trying to get through to Jane, who's kind of run off in the underground, and her other personalities are taking center stage. You have Larry Trainer still trying to come to terms and make some kind of deal with the spirit in him, trying to figure out how they can both get things that they want. Rita confronting her own problems, and Cyborg kind of trying to lead this group of people who doesn't really need a leader or want to be led, and trying to come to terms with some of his problems with his dad and stuff. And in the mix, you have Elliot, who is the unwritten book. You have Niles making some crazy team deals to help prevent the apocalypse. You have the return of Mr. Nobody. You have us really exploring a kind of cult of Jane, something very similar to what Gerard Way did in his run. The idea of one of these personalities making a cult, which was awesome. You have a character that I want to say is probably only there because I'm guessing they couldn't use John Constantine. I can't remember the character's name. I really like him. There's a Chaos Magician in this that basically fits every role of John Constantine, except he's not named John Constantine. It doesn't look like John Constantine, and I don't know if that's because they couldn't use him or they didn't want to use him or what. But it definitely felt like that could have and probably should have been Constantine. Outside of that, though, I love these episodes. Episodes 4 and 5. Again, every episode keeps getting better and better, and this continues that trend of it felt so much like a proper Doom Patrol story. This felt like something I'd read that Morrison wrote or Way wrote. This felt, and it is kind of takes elements of Gerard Way's, like Jane's Cult, Grant Morrison's Scissormen, and of course a few other obvious stories and stuff in there, but it kind of combines them all into this really great hodgepodge that celebrates the past of Doom Patrol, what it's based on, and also tells a pretty new story too. I love that. I think that's some of the best adaptations. That's why I loved Umbrella Academy so much, and why I'm loving this, where you can take the heart and soul of what worked in the written form and in the drawn form in comics, kind of take those elements, combine them into new stories that are familiar to people who love the comics and grew up with them or read them at a certain age or were pivotal to them or just read them for the first time. They can be familiar to those people, but also be completely new at the same time and be entertaining to people who don't give a shit about the comics too. I think all around these stories are hitting to the core of what the characters are. We'd also, a little cool moment, we had Rita for the first time on the show use her actual, like, kind of like Mr. Fantastic, Elastigirl-esque powers, which, that was freaking awesome. I loved seeing that. I loved seeing the giant razor blade nun stuff. I loved seeing so many of the visuals in these episodes just hit home for what Doom Patrol is. So much of the Jane story is incredible. Everything with the hospital, with the other personalities, it dives into her in a big way, and as she's one of my favorite comic characters, period. And so is Cliff Steele. So to see their dynamic growing in the show is really making me happy. Again, I can't help but just be happy with the show. Everything about it is what I hoped it could be at its best, and it keeps on knocking out of the park. I hope you guys are feeling the same way. Let me know below. Leave a comment. What did you think of these 2 episodes? For me, they're my favorite so far. I love them. I'm so this show has gone from a show that I was kind of trepidatious about, but excited about, to a show I was positive about and happy how it's going to now. It's becoming one of my favorite comic book shows, period. Up there with Umbrella Academy, up there with the first season of Daredevil. It's getting up there for me. So what do you guys think of it so far? Leave a comment, let me know. Thank you guys so much for listening. I will be back with the review of either comics or comic shows or something shortly. So thank you guys so much for watching.